for joining us today on Eartfile. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. It is the end of the year, so as the dry season temperatures finally settle in, many here in Nigeria take it for granted that they can turn down the dial of their air conditioners. So the global warming is a major concern across the world, and 2017 is one of the top 3 hottest years on record. One of the ways to reduce the warming is by reducing the emission of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Unfortunately, cooling systems contribute to the emissions, and we have been advised it is time to take a good look at the energy use of our appliances. So today we will look at the guides for choosing the right air conditioner that comes with the best energy efficiency level. Do stay with us. Air conditioning represents a significant portion of global energy demand. Global energy use from air conditioners will continue to rise as economic growth will make cooling more affordable to people in hot and populous countries. 4 billion tons a year is the carbon dioxide equivalent that can be saved if the global market shifts to more energy-efficient air conditioners and phases out ozone-depleting refrigerants. This is more than any country currently emits, besides China and the United States. In a recent report by the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory on the global air conditioner boom, the world is poised to install 700 million air conditioners by 2030 and 1.6 billion of them by 2050. In terms of electricity use and greenhouse gas emissions, that's like adding several new countries to the world. The Berkeley Laboratory study found that if the world can shift toward 30% more efficient air conditioners and phase out hydrochlorofluorocarbons at the same time, that could effectively offset the construction of as many as 1,550 peak power plants. It further found that in terms of emissions avoided, this approach would have an even bigger impact than huge renewable energy projects. By the year 2050 for the globe as a whole, meanwhile, the total avoided carbon dioxide equivalent emissions could amount to some 4 billion tons annually. Cumulatively, by 2050, the report finds that the world could avoid 98 billion tons of carbon dioxide emissions. That figure is not only massive, but will represent fully 10% of the roughly 1,000 billion tons of carbon dioxide that we could still emit and still have betting odds of keeping the planet warming below the international target of 2 degrees Celsius. The hydrochlorocarbons shift seems set to play out under the Montreal Protocol. The question then becomes, how do you shift the global air conditioner market to favor far greater efficiency?
We need to look at it from the perspective of energy generation. Every kilowatt hour that is consumed is generating it's making some impact on the environment. But if we now say we reduce consumption, we are ultimately also reducing generation, which means the amount of impact that our generating facilities would have made on the environment is equally being reduced.
In Nigeria, the appliances for heating and cooling account for a large percentage of the energy we spend in our homes and offices. It has been found that heating and cooling account for about 44% of utility bill.
I think this is the right time for the economy to really adopt these labeling and standards. I know there have been earlier initiatives, but it's a market situation. And if the market is not ready for it, you might be going in the wrong direction. And the other issue that is coming to my mind, we are into energy deficit. Now we are not generating enough energy. So even that which we are generating, we should be able to optimize the use. And that is the reason why we need to get into efficient equipment, and especially households.
The energy spent on heating and cooling can be reduced if households and owners of houses invest money for the proper installation and weathering of their houses. Just by installing walls and loft spaces, you could reduce heat loss by over 50% and prevent waste of energy. Also, there are modern and more efficient air conditioners and heating equipment. By combining proper equipment maintenance and upgrades with insulation, weatherization and thermostat setting, energy consumption can be reduced drastically.
It will reduce the costs of energy generation. It will reduce the capital cost on additional capacity. That's the terminology. Presently, I don't know what the generating available capacity is, but I know that some people are saying that the demand is more than the available capacity. And government is trying to make sure that more is generated. So if we bring in energy efficiency practices, it will save the government a lot of money by reducing the capacity that should be installed.
We are now unveiling the levels that will enable you to know the energy efficiency of any appliance you are buying. So we unveil it for all the public to see.
Recently, the Standard Organization of Nigeria introduced the National Energy Efficiency Level for air conditioners and electric appliances in the country.